Good evening, everybody. My name is Bob Griffith. I'm the Dean of the College of Emergency Preparedness, Homeland Security, and Cybersecurity. That will be the last time I say that full name tonight. I'm just going to call it CEHC for brevity's sake. Thank you for getting on to today's Zoomcast. A couple of things I want to say to begin with. If you have any questions and you know you have questions, feel free to add them to the Q&A section, which is located right there on the bar of your Zoom. So throughout this presentation and question and answer period, we have faculty and staff and students who are standing by to answer any questions you may have. Congratulations to you. Let me congratulate you first for your acceptance to the University at Albany. That's a heck of an accomplishment, and it is a credit to your hard work and dedication through your high school or secondary schools. Congratulations to your parents. This is a big time in life, and I know I speak for our president and provost and all of the faculty when we tell you that we really wish that we had an opportunity to see you face to face and show you our amazing campus and the energy that it's here at the University at Albany. Go ahead, Mike. Mike is our slide changer, so if you hear, go ahead, Mike. That's I'm just asking him to move the slides. Well, as we're waiting for the slides to come up. Well, let me talk a little bit about what's happening in the news right now. You know, there's that old Chinese proverb, may you live at interesting times, and we are certainly living in interesting times, times that really point to the need for a college like CEHC. When you look at today's world, whether it's coronavirus, thank you. Whether it's coronavirus, whether it's security risks, whether it's cybersecurity, this is a huge opportunity for you as a student, but also for us, frankly, as a college to help society. I'm gonna give this 1 second. That's all right. Go to the next one. All right. So this slide deck, like life, shows that when Plan A doesn't work, you need to make sure you have Plan B and Plan C. And because we are a college dedicated to preparedness and technology, we are able to overcome any of these issues. So let me talk to you a little bit about why we want you to consider to be part of our family. If you are interested in making a difference, if you're sitting at home right now and you're thinking, I really wish that there was something that I could do to help make this situation better, we're the college for you to come to. We're the college that can teach you the skills that you need in order to go into the fields that will make an immediate impact on scenes, not just like the pandemic, but the application of technology into society. When you think back initially, you know, why here, why now? The college was actually stood up per the direction of Governor Cuomo, and I'm sure you've all seen the amazing job that Governor Cuomo has been doing handling the pandemic on behalf of the state. In 2015, the governor recognized that the state of New York needed to have a trained cadre of emergency management managers, Homeland Security specialists, and cybersecurity specialists who understand all elements of the three fields that are truly intertwined into one. It was his vision that pushed for the creation of the school. University of Albany was selected as the home for the school, and we've been incredibly fortunate with an amazing level of growth. In 2017, we were able to bring in the data sciences and data analytics into the college, the whole area of applied technologies that you saw in the videos. And that has provided us with enormous opportunities. So when you start to think about the current situation, we have faculty and staff and students right now who are using the 3D printers in order to be able to print personal protective equipment for our first line responders in our hospitals and nursing home and medical community. We have students who are working around the clock as part of what's called the Volunteer Operations Support Team, monitoring social media. And I know Dr. Silver will get on a little bit. Maybe she can say a few words about what's going on. But we are a college that is absolutely dedicated to making a difference. Mike, if you could change the slide down onto why is CEHC special? Perfect. Yep. Right there. That's perfect. One of the things that makes us special is that we have a commitment to making sure that all three elements in our name are taught as core classes. So when you start to think about emergency preparedness, homeland security, and cybersecurity, in some areas of the country, those are taught in individual programs or schools. We've combined them. What really makes it richer, though, is that we have the informatics program, the applied technology. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about applied and experiential learning, because it's an important part of who we are and what we want to do. I only say jokingly that not only is it a unique program, but frankly, I could rename this college the College of Full Job Security. The situation that we're in right now and we're facing, it will frankly be a career path for many of you, for most, if not all of your professional careers. The fact that we're trying to improve the safety and security of our communities is just bedrock to what we believe in, and that's whether you're an informatics student or an EHC student. Before I move on, I've been asked to once again remind everybody, if you have questions, please feel free to put them into the area that says Q&A right on the bottom of your Zoom bar. Next slide, please. One of the areas that we sort of recognized a couple of years ago that we wanted to become a leader in is the online learning. And you're going to find that even before the whole issue of COVID and the pandemic, we were offering both full and partial online options. We did this for a couple of reasons. One is that we wanted to make sure that we were providing as much flexibility of our students so that they could continue on with other elements of their life, whether it's experiential learning, whether it's work, whether it's athletics, whether it's military service. So the idea of flexibility was really important to us and our faculty. In addition, our online programs allow us to bring in experts from around the world to work with you and lecture with you and teach with you. And that's a point that I think is really important as you start to make a decision about where you want to be, where your family is going to be. Please change the slide. In addition, what we've done is that we've created a number of what we call combined programs, 4+1. And I know this is going to seem a little over the top, but it's not too early to start to think about master's programs. And what we've done with what we call a 4+1 is that in your senior year, if you're accepted into these both undergraduate and graduate programs, in 5 years you can come out with both a bachelor's and a master's degree. What's excellent about this is it's faster for you, the student, and frankly, it saves you money. In addition, what our 4+1 programs allow you to do is that it allows you to streamline and plan your early steps in your career, which I think are incredibly important. Of course, for those of you that decide that you you want to get your bachelor's degree and move into the workforce, that's perfect. We have a place for you there as well. And you can always come back and work in any one of our master's programs. Our master's programs are designed in a way that we call a tailorable degree, where we have core curricula that are taught to all students in the program, but then there are concentration areas so that you can further define the skill sets and abilities that you come out with from our degrees. Next slide, please. If you come to the University at Albany, in addition to an exceptional academic program and an amazing faculty, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about, you're going to be expected to learn by doing. I expect you to get your hands dirty. I think that theory is wonderful, and we teach a lot of theory, but we really want to try to provide you with the opportunity to apply that theory and learn by doing, and frankly, learn by making mistakes, because none of us are perfect. And this is the perfect opportunity for you, though, to be able to develop those type of skills. So experiential learning is incredibly important to us. So that hands-on element that sets us apart from all of the other programs. We also push a very different approach to learning by experimenting. Our labs, of course, the University of Albany has an amazing array of incredibly sophisticated labs across all of our colleges. Within CEHC, we are gifted with some amazing labs. Our 3D Makerspace, which I think if you got on a little bit earlier, you saw the short clip of. And I'll tell you what, if you can't look at the little boy opening that package and getting that prosthetic hand, if that doesn't touch you, I don't know what does. We also have the first of its kind combined indoor drone lab and robotics lab, where we've been able to actually take an old gymnasium and convert it to teaching and learning and research on drone and robotics. We have labs that are dealing with gaming and simulation, and we'll talk a little bit about esports, I think, when the professor speaks about it in a little bit. Go ahead, Mike. Yeah, our faculty is amazing, and we have a mix of traditional research active faculty who are leading the nation. We have faculty that are right now on the front lines advising both the local, state, and federal, frankly, and international governments on how to handle the crisis. Your faculty is going to be a mix of professors of practice, people who came from the field, in addition to exceptional academics. There are a couple things that I want to point out, though. The expectation for all of us, and that includes myself and the vice dean, and is that we teach. In fact, I teach the living learning community for the college. So if any of you are interested in the living learning community, I would be your faculty member. But that commitment to teaching and research, not only for our graduate students, but for our undergraduates, really does set us apart. And as you think about your decision about where you want to go, the question you should be asking yourself is, who's going to be teaching me, and what faculty roles will be there? Will be. Go ahead, Mike. You're going to learn from experts. I think one of the things that we do particularly well is that both within our individual classes and as a college, we make sure that we're bringing to you subject matter experts from not only our locality in New York, although we have an exceptional array of capacity in New York State, but also global leaders in areas like cybersecurity or robotics, border protection, or response and recovery. But again, these are all elements that are going to make you a better rounded person and give you a better sense of how your skill sets fit in. Go ahead, Mike. And it's not enough just to learn from your faculty. I'd be absolutely remiss if I didn't gush about our students. You're going to learn as much from your peers as you will from anybody. And I can tell you that our students are hardworking, they're driven, they're committed, they're empathetic, they're caring, and we have a whole host of student groups that you can be part of. And I absolutely advise you to make sure that you take some time in your college life and be involved in student groups, because frankly, that's where you learn to lead. That's where you learn to use other skills than you normally would in the classroom. And whether you're interested in esports, whether you want to be a volunteer on the ambulance service, whether you want to be part of the International Association for Emergency Managers, whether you want to work in cybersecurity, whether you're a veteran, whether you want to work with the Red Cross, there are student groups here on campus that will help you become a better rounded person. And again, this complements not only your academic skills, but it complements the experiential learning, which I think is incredibly important for you. We push the idea of hands-on learning. We push the idea of internships. We want you to be able to stretch your wings and be able to translate what is in the classroom into the field. And that's what any good program should do, but I could tell you it's done particularly well here at CEHC. Why are we special? Well, we're a bit weird. And if you like sort of a little bit offbeat and different type of challenges, this is a great place for you. While we're relatively young, when you look at other schools that may have been around since the 1800s, we have already embedded a set of values and traditions into the program. Whether it's the Dean's Breakfast, where the faculty and staff serve all of our students who make the Dean's List breakfast or lunch. Whether it's the fact that as a member of our family, we give you a class pin that we hope you'll wear proudly when you go to your internships or interviews. And each year, as part of our graduation ceremony, we retire that pin. So each pin is unique. But what it does is that it creates a link back between the current students and the students have come before you. It also links our alumni back to you. So you are not alone when you come here. You're part of a much, much broader family. That idea of family is something that you've heard me say several times. And as you start to think about your final choice for colleges, I really urge you to find a place that feels most like family to you, because that's going to make a huge difference in your success on campus. Go ahead, Mike. Another reason why we're so special is that we are going to be moving into our new home next year, actually, 2021. When you can come onto campus, would love to show you our new building. It's going to actually be the largest academic building on campus. It's our home. It's also the home of our partners in Atmospherics, and we do an awful lot of work with between Atmospherics and our both informatics and emergency preparedness folks. So start to think about the areas of communications and sensors and how that works. This is going to be a stunning facility, and you're going to be learning in a facility that has things like an established emergency operations center lab, an established intelligence analysis lab, a hugely expanded makerspace. We're creating labs right now that will allow us to do red teaming and blue teaming for our cybersecurity. And we are working with both the chancellor and the system provost, along with our tremendous president at Provost on campus, to be the hub for a broader approach to cybersecurity in the SUNY system. Go ahead, Mike. The CHC is special because we do act like a family. And And we also recognize, though, that our family is only one bit or one piece of your success. That what really helps and makes great students are great families that stand with them. That idea of support, and whether it's familial by birth, or whether it's people that you trust, those people around you make a huge difference. We want you, and I'm speaking specifically to any of the parents who may be listening. We want you to stay connected, not only with your student, but with the college. I think it's really important that everybody understands sort of the rhythm of college, and one of the things that we try to do is we try to put some sort of notifications out sometimes about things that are going on, so you may understand when the stress points are, or things that are going on that you may be really interested in. And of course, I think it's amazing when we do Dean's List breakfasts, and some of the parents show up. I think it's just a wonderful way of saluting, not only their child who has done a tremendous job academically, but really it's an embrace of our entire community, and it becomes an enormous celebration of some awesome work that you're doing that we take huge pride in. Sorry, go ahead. Stay connected with us. The playlist of videos that you saw beforehand, they're at this link. We're on social media. But do me a favor, before you make a final decision, go on and take a look at those YouTubes, and ask yourself the question: can I see myself doing this? Can I see myself in the Maker Lab? Can I see myself in the Drone Lab? Can I see myself deploying down to Puerto Rico to work after a hurricane, to work with recovery? Could I see myself working in an emergency operations center, helping communities stay safe? And that'll help you define your answer. And if your answer is the yes to any of those questions, then we are really the right place for you. Go ahead, Mike. I think it's important, though, that you hear from others besides myself. And we've asked 3 exceptional students to speak with you today. So Zachary, Michelle, and Robert, thank you so much for your time. Again, if you're at home thinking, is this the right place for me? I want you to listen to these students, and feel free to ask them any questions. They will be completely honest and upfront with you about what's happening here. But I want you to take a minute and think, these are students that are giving their time to do this. Could I be one of those students? And I challenge you, because I think you can be. With that said, why don't we start? I don't know who wants to start. Zach, do we want to start with you?
Hi, can you hear me? Can you hear me all right?
Perfect.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. My name is Zachary Lands. I'm from Huntington, New York, on Long Island. I am in the EHC program. This is my senior year, concentrating in cybersecurity. I'm also in the 4+1 master's program, studying information science and intelligence analysis. I'm here to kind of give you guys a little bit of an idea of why I value the college and what I think is important and what I love about it. And earlier, Dean Griffin brought up how the faculty and the staff and the professors we have are truly amazing. I kind of think that's an understatement. I think that they are the best. Honestly, they are well connected. They have the greatest experiences behind them. Very knowledgeable people. They are always there to help you. But most importantly, I think there's 2 reasons why I value the faculty within the school the most. And that would be because they are passionate about what they are teaching you, and because they are able to inspire you and inspire the students. I think my freshman year may have been the first year of this degree program, this degree path. And I remember taking the 101 course and knowing immediately that this was the right place for me, and this is what I wanted to do. I originally came in as a digital forensics student looking to go into the cybersecurity area, and then learning I could intertwine emergency preparedness and homeland security with that. I just knew that that was the right path to take. And every class I have taken since then has inspired me more and more to want to be in the industry of security and be able to contribute whatever I learn to something greater than myself coming out of college. It has even inspired me, and the professors have inspired me to reach further than what I thought I was capable of. That entailed studying abroad, making internships, and achieving new levels of knowledge that I had never thought even possible for myself. And it was just definitely the right path. And I think the faculty here are the greatest people that you will ever meet. So that is personally what I value the most, and what I think you should look forward to if you decide to come with us. Now I'm going to hand it over to Michelle so she can speak a little bit to it. Thank you.
Thanks, Zach. Go ahead, Michelle.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay. Hi, my name is Michelle Masaryk. I'm a senior informatics major and an EHC minor. I'm originally from Burke, Virginia, which is 20 minutes outside of DC, so I'm out-of-state student. And I came to UAlbany because I was really intrigued about this cybersecurity program. I knew going into my senior year that I wanted to do some type of technology degree, and I was, choosing between computer science or informatics. And then I was really drawn to the informatics program. I was able to get hands-on experience and learn from some technical courses. And those were really something that gauged my interest and something that I really enjoy. On campus, I am a part of the CDO, which is the Cyber Defense Organization, and they really learning from my peers, and they're like a great group of students to learn and grow from and ask questions and keep asking questions. I'm also involved on the UAlbany Dance Council. So when I'm not studying or not doing some preparing for a test, I enjoy dancing. Typically, I like to do tap and jazz. So if anyone likes to dance, I'd be happy to show you about that club. And then lastly, I'm a community assistant for the LLCs for the World of Engineering. And Dean Griffin was also pointing out the LLCs. The LLCs was a great opportunity for me from all the way from my freshman year to my senior year. I've been involved with them, and the friends that I've made from my freshman year, I still keep in contact with till senior year and hopefully and beyond. And then lastly, going forward in May, unfortunately I'm going to graduate, which I'm very sad about. But looking forward to my future, I accepted a job opportunity with a federal cybersecurity agency in Virginia. So although I'm sad to graduate, I am looking forward to the next steps in my future and beyond. But UAlbany provided a bunch of opportunities for me, and I was in your shoes, 4 years ago. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat or email me. I'd be happy to answer your questions. And with that, I'll pass it along to my third colleague, Robert.
Thank you very much, Michelle. Never be sorry for graduating. That's a heck of an accomplishment, and congratulations on your tremendous job and what you're going to do to keep us safe in the future. I think Robert is having some technical difficulties, so I'm actually going to move on to the faculty for a second. I've asked some of the faculty to say a few words, giving some of their perspectives about the program. I think it's important that you hear from not only students, but the people who are going to be leading you and teaching you. So I've asked Dr. Yankson and Dr. Silver and Professor Lazinski to come and talk a little bit about the college and their interests. Dr. Yankson.
So thank you very much. My name is Dr. Benjamin Yankson. I'm an assistant professor here within CEHC. And I want to first of all congratulate you and take this opportunity to express my interest and tell you a little bit about what we as faculty members do best here within CEHC to help students. My area of expertise is in cybersecurity, specifically looking at Internet of Things security. Looking within Internet of Things security, I'm interested really in children's toys. How do we make sure that the toys that are sold to children, specifically young kids, are really secured and protected? So my research focused on things that we could do to protect toys, things that we could do to protect robots that we have. I also really do research in privacy, digital forensics, and cybersecurity assessment. Within cybersecurity assessment, what I am more interested in is how do we teach courses that allow students to help organizations to protect the infrastructure they have and to secure those infrastructure. What I think is very unique about the program that we have here is this is really a great climate for learning and a good sense of community and culture. And what I mean by this is that within the program, faculty members come from diverse backgrounds and are interested not only in teaching and learning, but also interested to be supportive with students, within all aspects of teaching, but also including helping students that are going through difficult times, helping students that want to not just to find ways to get jobs. The other area that I think is really great about the program is, although we teach a lot of theory, we also really do a lot of hands-on experience. So we have a lot of experiential learning, both in class and also in the field. And these faculty members that are, including myself, come from different diverse backgrounds. And you're going to be in the hands of faculty members that really, really enjoy teaching and enjoying research and enjoy helping students. So I think what I could tell you is that faculty members here, including myself, are really, really excited to have you guys on, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you, Dr. Yanks. And Dr. Silver would like to say a few words.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. My name is Dr. Amber Silver. I'm an assistant professor here in the college within the concentration of emergency preparedness. So just a little bit about myself. In addition to my work on risk and crisis communication, I'm also the principal investigator of the Crisis Informatics Lab, as well as the virtual operations support team that Dean Griffin mentioned earlier. So I'm fascinated by information, as many of us here in the college are, specifically how it is that information influences decision-making. So how it is that we obtain, interpret, and respond to information, particularly risk-related information. Currently, I'm working with a colleague, Dr. Samantha Penta. We're standing up a project to examine the COVID-19 pandemic that's happening right now, specifically looking at issues pertaining to information seeking, misinformation and disinformation, and how people are using that risk-related information to make good decisions in terms of protective actions, so to protect themselves and their family. I am folding that research into work with the VOST, or the Virtual Operations Support Team. What the VOST is, it's a really interesting initiative. It's a lot of fun. So it is a student-led initiative or program where students are going to monitor social media in real time during both steady state and DISH's activations, the Division of Emergency Services and Homeland Security. Sorry, Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services. Excuse me, there's so many acronyms in this college, you'll get to appreciate that. And so what students are doing is that in real time during this pandemic, they're looking for trends in information. So how it is that, what accounts are sharing information and what accounts are correcting misinformation or sharing misinformation. And then they're sharing that information in real time with state level agencies to help coordinate their response in terms of where they're going to move personnel and resources to respond to this pandemic. And so just looking at issues pertaining to risk and crisis communication, decision science, and understanding how information ties into this broader social milieu. So I think I speak for everyone to say, congratulations. We sincerely hope to welcome you into the family. So welcome, congratulations.
Thanks very much, Dr. Silver. And I think from listening to both Dr. Yanks and Dr. Silver, you start to see both the passion in our faculty, but also how important their work is. Dr. Yankson's work is trying to make sure that toys that our children are playing with are safe from being hacked. Dr. Silver's working with data and disaster sense making, but again, you as a student, have the capacity to be a member of the volunteer operations support team. That's what makes it work. That's that hands-on experience that you can come out of CEHC with that you're not going to get anywhere else. And finally, I'd like to introduce Professor Lazinski. He is absolutely amazing, and he's got to say a few words about technology in the esports.
Okay, thanks, Dr. Griffin. So welcome everybody to today's webinar, and congratulations. UAlbany is really a special place. I'm a proud graduate of the university, and I'm really excited about the work that we're doing at the university and CEHC. If you like technology, and if you like emerging technology and information in technology, being a global citizen, being connected to what's going on in the world, CEHC is really the place for you. Tremendous group of faculty as experts, our student body, and our diversity, and just our perspectives on all of the work that we do really puts a smile on my face every single day. And I'm just so proud of the work that we all get to do together in the idea of a community of practice. So as the Dean mentioned, our labs are very much a place where students get hands-on experience. So our labs are not the sort of space where there's a lot of caution tape and sort of cordoned off areas where you can't actually work with the equipment. We have 3D printers, we have laser cutters, we have drones, we have robots, we have gaming and virtual reality systems. Our students bring their expertise and perspective to the table, and it really is an exciting environment. I'm holding in my hand here, it's phasing a little bit in and out with the virtual background, a handful of prototypes that we've 3D printed in response to what's happening in the world with regard to COVID-19. And so the idea of how do you understand what's happening on a global perspective? How do you understand all of the potential solutions to problems? And then how do you enter into that sort of equation? And so we've brought our faculty, our staff, our students, and our alum together so that we're able to mobilize our makerspace, mobilize our 3D printers, develop iterations and prototypes. So we actually have a finished piece of equipment that I believe today we just deployed 135 to a local hospital. We're working with first responders, not only here locally, but across New York State where there's a need, and that next need will be across the country. So wherever there is help, we will help those in need. So the idea of technology and information, I think, impacts our lives and society as a whole. And when we look at the infrastructure where we have a makerspace, I have students who have interned in our makerspace who are now working at 3D printing companies. They're flying drones full-time in the field. They're working in augmented reality and virtual reality, and also the work that we've done recently in esports and in gaming. We have an amazing team at the university, which started this year with now over 100 students, a co-ed team, which I'm very happy to say we won a championship in Fortnite in our first semester. The energy and excitement in our team, we competed against 60 other colleges throughout the United States. And we're also developing academic work around esports and gaming. So I'm teaching the university's first class in esports, where we're looking at the entire industry, which is $1 billion industry. And it's really just exciting and engaging work. And I know all of the faculty within our college, their expertise and the word passion came up a few times. I think Michelle Masaryk mentioned it, and Michelle was a student in one of my classes. And I think that's a common tie among the work that we do in CEHC is passion. So once again, congratulations. I hope you'll come join us and contribute to the work that we're doing.
Thanks, Michael. And, I made the comment about, to you as a prospective student saying, if you want to make a difference, then this is a good place for you. We all want to make a difference. And what you see is a committed faculty and staff, like you just heard from, paired with an equally committed student body who are actively trying to make our communities better and to resolve the crisis that we're currently in right now. But it's more than just work. One of the things that the professor didn't talk about is the fact that we recognize that in these times that some of our students may feel isolated. Everybody's at home. You're not on campus. And what we do are small things, but important. Like we make sure that every week we do a town hall for our students. In fact, a town hall is at 7 o'clock tonight, in order to answer questions that they may have about what's occurring. And then on Thursday night, the professor actually hosts a game night, and it's all virtual, but it's a way to stay connected back to the university, back to the college, and for us to remain connected with you. And the more connected you are, the more active you are in the clubs, the more active you are with your faculty, the better your experience is going to be, whether you come to CHC or you decide to go somewhere else. However, there are not too many colleges that you can go to that on Thursday nights you can actually legally throw your professor off the roof or shoot them on Overwatch. So I mean, that's another thing that's going for us as well. I've spoken at you for a little bit longer than I thought, but I'd like to open it up for questions and answers if I could. I know that during our discussion that a whole number of your questions are being answered, but let's see what's out there that has not been. Jen, do we have any questions?
Sure. A bunch of questions have been asked and answered in the Q&A section. So if you want to see what's already been answered, you can go back and look there. One of the questions that a few people asked, though, is regarding the difference between digital forensics and cybersecurity. And if you could also talk about the difference between EHC cybersecurity and informatics cybersecurity.
Yeah, it's a great question, and there are a couple of different flavors of cybersecurity that are on campus, and I think it actually more aptly reflects the state of cybersecurity in the wild than it does just having everybody all together in one small program. And I'm going to go all the way into basic research and algorithms, which you can find in our math department. So if you're interested in the algorithms that go into programming, we're developing some cutting edge basic research and algorithm development. In our computer science program in our College of Engineering and Applied Science, they're working on a lot of the heavy duty programming issues. In the business school, the digital forensics program is looking at the application of cybersecurity and cyber tools as it pertains to the world of business and to the private sector. Of course, everything crosses over, and this is where we have an amazing synergy with other colleges on campus. Our program in the EHC, the Emergency Preparedness, Homeland Security, Cybersecurity area, looks more at the the policy and regulatory issues of cyber, and it's preparing you to think differently about the secondary and tertiary effects of a cybersecurity attack or issue. How do you translate the technical issues in cybersecurity so the policymaker can understand what the decision points are? In addition, we're trying to train you to start to think about what are the cascading effects that may occur after a cybersecurity attack. I'm really pleased to announce that we're also standing up our own bachelor's degree in cybersecurity. It's more technical in nature than the EHC side of the house, but that they're very complementary to each other. So if you're really interested in the technical components, that BS in cybersecurity, in informatics, is a degree that you really want to look at. In all cases, though, we spread our doors open wide, and we work really closely with students who may be in the digital forensics program or the math program or CS, and that's the value of coming to a university the size of Albany. It gives you access to programs and faculty across multi-disciplines that give you an opportunity to see and touch and learn in ways that you don't get with a smaller location. At the same time, though, I would argue that what we do really well at Albany, and we do particularly well at CEHC, is we're able to take this huge university and make it into a small knit community, and that's really important. And I think that's part of the reason we've been as successful as we've been.
We have another question for the students on the panel. One of the questions is, did you study abroad? And if so, can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I can jump in on this one.
Yeah.
So I last spring studied abroad for about 6 months in Israel to study Homeland Security and cybersecurity. I think it's important as a cybersecurity major to kind of expand the horizon outside of just cyber and focus on that emergency response and homeland side of things. And I wanted to get some hands-on experience and in more in-depth experiential learning, which is why I decided to study abroad. During my time there, I studied at Ben Gurion University of the Negev, and I did an internship at a cybersecurity education startup in Tel Aviv, which I would commute to multiple times a week. In the past, I've done multiple internships, and I primarily specialize in network security, threat intelligence, risk management. I'm a little bit of a mix between technical and non-technical. I do a lot of pen testing as well. So being on the cyber concentration in the EHC major, although it's geared towards risk, policy, regulation, you can still get that experience in the technical realm and then have that lead to a technical internship, developing your skills. That's what I did. I'm very in between the spectrum. But for my internship abroad, I was mainly developing educational materials, both technical and non-technical, for a cybersecurity startup who I'm still in contact with today. I worked for them as a contractor coming home. The experience abroad was amazing. I had Dean Griffin helping me while I was abroad with some stuff that I ran into. All the faculty while I was abroad, very communicative, very helpful with any issues I had, they were minimal. And it was probably one of the greatest experiences of my life, if not the greatest. But I would definitely recommend going abroad. Not enough students do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would just echo Zach as well. I also studied abroad over the summer. So it was a summer session, and I also went to Israel. But I was focusing more on mobile app development, and I was studying at the Jerusalem College of Engineering, where we created an app similar to Waze, but our prototype in our app was Waze for airports. But I just enjoyed the abroad experience of getting to see the land and like a different food, different cultural, different language. So if you get the opportunity to study abroad, I highly recommend.
Thanks. I appreciate those comments. A couple more comments about cyber, but before I do that, about international abroad. Take the opportunity. There's not too many opportunities in your life where you have the ability to go travel and learn overseas. And as you heard from both Zach and Michelle, it's a life-changing experience. And while they were both in Israel, we have relationships across the globe, whether it's Taiwan or Japan, whether it's Sweden, the UK, the Central and South America. There are huge opportunities. And here's a piece of advice that I can give you. When you're first applying to schools, everybody's going to lay out sort of this huge potential feast in front of you of what you could do. Don't lose track of that. Make sure that you're taking the time to plan your college career, so that you make decisions about what you're going to do and not do, but it's a conscious decision. It's not just because you forgot about something. I guess the analogy that sort of works for me in a situation is it's similar to people who buy a new car and they get briefed on all of the new gadgets and gadgets that's in the new vehicle, and then you forget, and then you're not using that vehicle to its utmost. Make sure you're taking advantage of any institution that you go to get the most out of it, because again, every one of these experiences is going to change your life. A final comment about cyber is we think differently about cyber. in fact, we're in active discussions and negotiations and partnerships with a broad array of both private sector cyber firms and governmental cyber entities. We're working very, very closely with the Pacific Northwest National Labs. In fact, we have members of the National Lab that will teach you. They're part of our adjunct faculty. And we're working with them and federal agencies in developing a curricula that meets the needs of the federal and private sector in order for you to be able to get a job. And I think one of the things that you should be asking yourself is, what comes next? Where could I take this degree and go with? And understand that learning for the sake of learning is absolutely tremendous. And I'm not discounting that at all. In fact, I think it'd be really important for all of you to think hard about taking courses in areas that you may be a little bit uncomfortable with, you hadn't thought about, whether it's theater, or whether it's arts, or whether it's hard sciences. Because the better rounded you are, the better you're going to be able to think through unusual events that we may not have seen before. Jen, do you have some other questions?
Actually, before we go to questions, our final student was able to join us. Rob, do you want to say a few words?
Oh, perfect. Thanks, Robert. Sorry about that.
Hello. Yeah, I was having some technical issues with my computer.
No worries. Thank you for being here.
All right, and so a few words about my experience here at the University of Albany. Yeah, I've been having this trouble with my Zoom camera too. You see that it's flipped upside down? I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I guess I'll just keep the picture up. I would say I started here as a freshman in the fall. I actually didn't start as an EHC major. I actually started as a computer science major, and later on I added EHC as a minor. And then after I added it as a minor, I took a couple of the intro courses, and I liked it so much that I decided to double major. So now I'm a double major with computer science and cybersecurity. And my concentration, well, with EHC, my concentration is cybersecurity. In that field, I would say being a part of the EHC department, I've had a lot of like hands-on experience, and it's also like helped me think about what I want to do in the future as a career path. Like I didn't even think about cybersecurity analysts and stuff like that. So these are jobs that I'm finding about that are like high in demand. Another great experience I would say with the EHC department is you're required to do internships. Like it's part of actually your coursework. And I think like a lot of students often don't do internships while they're in college, but doing those internships have actually like, I did an internship with one of the professors in the he was actually emergency management and preparedness. That was his focus. But I was also kind of interested in that stuff and like how technologies are being used to like help send out alert messages and data across like hazards and stuff like that. So that's why I partnered with him on that project. And there is a new hazard in Oklahoma, which is earthquakes. Like they're used to dealing with tornadoes, and now they're dealing with earthquakes. So we were actually like talking to stakeholders and analyzing the data to see like how are they preparing to what are they doing to like mitigate the new form of hazard that is happening in the area. And this was like a field that I didn't even know was something that exists. Like as a computer science major, you know, I code a lot, and with cybersecurity, we try to defend a lot of systems. But then on this side, I'm seeing like a practical applications of how these skills can be used to inform the public, which was one thing I would say like I got a great understanding from like doing internships in the EHC department.
Robert, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. I believe was there a final question, Jen?
Sure, one final question. We would really like to see campus and understand it may take a while before that's available. That said, do you think there will be an option to start up online during the fall if this virus continues?
Absolutely. And we will try to make sure that we can preserve as much of the college experience as we possibly can. We're going to be here, regardless of the virus or the pandemic. We're going to continue to figure out different ways to keep the community together, and we will be providing exceptional academic programs. And it seems a little dark right now, but this too shall pass, and together we will help lead the way through this. For you as a student who's thinking about what your future is, we're all going to need you. We're going to need your help. You're going to be the generation that frankly will help society regain its footing from a crisis like this. This is a historical moment, but we're going to be here, and there's going to be lots of jobs for you if you successfully when you successfully graduate from this program. Let me sort of wrap up because I'm cognizant of time. You have a hard decision to make, and it's a big decision. You need to think about all of the, what's right for you, what's right for your family, what could your potential future could be. You want to try to find a college or university or program that reflects you, your values, and what you want to do. I can show you a program that is family, that is intensive academically, that requires you to get involved in your chosen community, and will put you in a position where you have a defined set of skills that employers in both the public and private sector are looking for. I hope you choose to come and join our family. If you don't and you go to another institution, I wish you nothing but the best. Always remember we're here for you. So even if you decide that you don't want to come here as an undergraduate, remember us for our graduate programs and our PhD programs. But continue to be a lifelong learner. And whether you come to the university at Albany or not, be a Great Dane. Don't be a good Dane. Be a Great Dane. I wish you all well. I hope I see you in the fall. I hope many of you decide that you want to be part of my living learning community. I hope that you get an opportunity to be face-to-face with our amazing students and alumni and faculty, and keep the faith. We will see you in September. So thank you very much for your time. If you have any more questions, please feel free to reach out to us. It's a big decision, but we're here to help you make that. Thanks very much, everybody.